Hey guys, welcome to part 3 of my Predator water pump series. This will be the last video. I like to do follow-ups on stuff, that way you just kind of see if, well, did it work or not. So, in the last one you see me put the air filter on. I had to get this part. It didn't have an air filter or box or anything. Then I put this pump on. And in that video, I didn't know if the O-ring inside was supposed to be pushed in or if it just sat there. I think that O-ring acts as a spring because as I put it together, it pumps. And I pumped with it yesterday, so I'll show you my setup here. I finally got some hoses for it. These you can get at Harbor Freight. That's the intake one, the suction one. So it's reinforced so it don't collapse. And then this one you can just use I got this at Menards. It's the only one that Home Depot or Fleet Farm, nobody had the 1 inch in this collapsible. So I'm going to show you my setup here. Yesterday I ran it, I primed it, I just dumped some rainwater in here and then it started pumping. So what I can do with it is, it's actually going to be really handy, and I'm going to show you what I'm doing with it. And I'll show you my setup I had before. So this is, I think, 25 feet. And I got this shut off for it. That way if I want to move stuff, I can just, I can just leave it pumping and just shut it off here and change this or do whatever. This is 1 inch stainless steel. Also got that stuff at Menards. And I got this adapter to go down to a garden hose size, so 5/8. You can get 3/4 inch garden hoses too, but 5/8 is by far the most common. And for what I'm going to do here, that's about all I need. So if I want to use this to actually pump, because if I rev it up, it will pump. She'll just blast it out like a fire hose. I could take this fitting off and I'll have actually both of these, then I'd have the full volume. So if I want to transfer water, just take that off and do it that way. But if I want to do this water stuff, I can keep it like this. So I'll show you my setup. Actually got rain coming in the next couple hours, so the way I was doing it before, I take the four-wheeler in the trailer, and I got rainwater in this tote. I just put this downspout here and then into the little green trailer, open it up, and she'd fill it up. Then I run sprinkler can to water my vegetables or grass or whatever I'm doing. But you know what that's like. You got to hold it up and keep getting a sprinkler can every time it's empty. It's a pain in the butt. So this setup, I'll go right into this tote. This is being fed by a sump pump, which I had the line out of it right now. And that'll fill that up when it rains. So this will actually, here's my setup. It's going off the house roof and the garage roof into here. I had this down like this so it'll engage. It'll start pumping before it gets up to here. But when it gets up to here, it'll start filling this, then it'll fill this, and then finally it'll discharge onto the grass. And if I just unplug the sump pump, it'll fill that up. But if it downpours, it can't keep up and it'll actually overflow here. That's why I got the pump in here. So the pump's gonna kick on, and then if it comes down a lot, they'll both have an output. So this pump is going to pump right into that tank. That's a 300-gallon tank tote, I think. I have yet to fill it up this year because we haven't been getting many rains. Yeah, 250 this year, so 300 I think. And yeah, so now this is going to allow me to pump right out of there. So I'll show you. So if I put it in that big tank, I can just leave it in there now. I don't have to worry about it running out, as the little barrels still run out after 55 gallons or 50 or whatever's in there. So I'll start her up here. I don't even run it full blast because I don't need to. Throw the choke on, give her a little throttle. That's it. Probably about the throttle that I want. So it should start pumping. The line's still full. So now I'll just go to the end and water my grass and stuff. Try to keep the grass wet so it germinates. I have some new grass planted, so that's what I'm watering. And I'm also making room in my barrel for new rain coming. Yeah, this I had watered last night and it's dried out already. I don't know how much rain we're getting either, that's the thing. So then you can just run a garden hose as long as you want. Just keep bind them and hook them together. You can go for a mile if you want. This is one of those collapsible ones. I don't know if I like it or not. I don't know. It kind of gets smaller and bigger and it's kind of a pain in the butt. Let's see. I'm gonna raise you up a little bit. And you can see how she pumps. As long as it's got gas, it'll just keep pumping. I'll water this again. I just got a regular nozzle. And then there I go. So instead of using well water, I can use rainwater, free. Why would I want to use that? Well, rainwater is natural, for one thing. It is warmer, so especially if your barrel's in the sun, it'll be nice and warm for plants. And if you live in town, you're going to get charged for your water use. But if you collect your rainwater and you did this, you don't get charged for it until the government gets greedier. But see, it's only running like half throttle. This setup works so good. I'm liking it so much, especially for planting grass, that if that pump goes to hell, takes a crap, I'm getting another one. Maybe not the same model like the Predator, but I'm definitely gonna get a 1-inch pump again. Now the bigger you go on the size, like when I was looking for hoses, I got the pickup one at Harbor Freight. I think they have a 3-inch, and that one's made for like pumping trash. So maybe like on a beach or something. And then you got like a 2 inches, probably quite a bit more common. 1.5 inches, I think, is the sump pumps. 1.25 inches, something like that. It's bigger than the one. But for this purpose, this 1 inch works really good. A lot of the stores, I noticed, like even like Ace Hardware, Fleet Farm, they'd sell the 1-inch pump, but then they wouldn't sell the hoses. But like the Generac pump comes with the hoses in the box, and I think the Generac one came with the fitting or adapter for the garden hose, kind of like what I have set up here. But I mean, grass, you want to keep it pretty wet, or just keep it damp. It likes to be damp. And I can just shut it off. Or I can change this. See, the water is actually kind of warm. And the plants love it because they don't like putting 45-degree well water on. It's cold. That's what I did last year. I planted some grass and I was just using well water. And I don't like using well water because it gets really dry. Well, what if your well dries up, right? And if I wanted to, I could hook this to a sprinkler. Because now of a garden hose size, I can hook it to anything like that a regular garden hose would. So I could just run a sprinkler out here. As long as that pump's got gas, she'll keep running. Hopefully, right? There, I got this wet. See, here's why I don't like these collapsible hoses. They're like a big bungee cord, and when the pressure's off of them, they shrink, and then they start pulling, and then if you shut the water off and it pressurizes again, it blows back up. So it's always like a bungee cord pulling on you, unless you have, if you're at the end of the length of it. So it's kind of a pain in the butt. It's not gonna do all this, but it's gonna rain too. There, she just shut off on me. It must have ran out of gas. I still have pressure without it even running. She's running out. But I was gonna quit anyway because it's good timing. Hour and a half or so, or 2 hours or whatever, however long it takes. It's gonna be raining and I wanna cut some grass. I gotta get my pump put away. So here's what I mean with these collapsible hoses. Like a big bungee cord. You have to keep pulling on them, and they don't even really wanna pull their own weight when they're full very good. I think if I open that up, it'll probably suction from that tank. So I'll put it out of the tank and get that all set up. That's pretty much going to conclude my video. Just wanted to show you that this series, you can take a old engine that looked like it was ready for the scrap, and looks pretty good, runs excellent. So it was too good to just throw out, you know. Let's see if it's out. Yep, she's out. But that's okay, because now is a good time to store it when it runs out of fuel. But I'll probably be using it quite a bit more in the summer here. Winter's when I'll be storing it. Alright guys, since it's pouring out, I figured I'd show you this. Right now it's pumping, and my tank is full. So the earlier video was from this morning. I said it was going to rain. It's almost full. Let it run. Just off the little bit of the house roof and the garage roof. If it was pouring real hard, this would be coming out almost full, and that wouldn't keep up to it. Now I'm going to pull this out. Actually, I'm just going to stop the pump, I think. I'm just going to kill the pump. No, we'll just go up through here. And the end I don't have out yet. Now it'll fill all the barrels up. But you gotta kind of be home for this, but if it would pour real hard, then it would catch up to both. It's only been a little bit. Look how high it is already. Now it's gonna start throwing the first barrel up. So when that one gets full, then she'll go to the next one. When that one gets full, then she'll go water the grass. Get them full. I could fill this one and that one, but I got enough. And this one could be full too. So, thanks for checking out my video, my series on this. And hope to see you in the next one.